because it's after 8:30 and I want to respect everybody's time. Second to last Monday of the month, guys. I know that we're feeling the heat, and I'm sure Kelsey can speak to that as well. It's a fun time of year, and something that I just wanted to kind of share with you guys is I got off my corporate mentor call today, and he was like, there's four quarters in a football game. I don't know if you guys are big football watchers, but many times my Hokies have been down in the first quarter, and it looks like the game's going to suck. And the last quarter, they pull it out the last 5 seconds, and they win. So don't give up. The year's not over. And I just want you all to believe in yourselves and have that bigger vision and keep chugging along towards it. Because to get where Kelsey and I have gotten, and I know she'll speak to that, we started where you guys are, and it's frustrating, and it's part of the journey, So keep hanging in there, and I just want to kind of share that. Let me introduce Kelsey. So for those of you guys that don't know, Kelsey is in like our larger team on the opposite leg. We've gone to some leadership retreats now, 2 coach summits, success club trips. So I've gotten to know her pretty well. She motivates me probably more than she knows. And I think we're both kind of tired this time of year, but she's just been awesome. And I've gotten to see her grow from really trying to figure herself out and working full time. And she'll probably speak to that a little bit, and working with her spouse in this business and just exploding and going full time this year. So it's been such a privilege to be on this journey with her. Cause like I said, she motivates me a lot. And I just asked her when she asked me what to speak to tonight, just bring her fire, cause she gets super passionate. So I'm going to stop talking and let Kelsey take the show.
Well, thanks, Danielle. Hey, guys. I am super pumped to talk to you guys tonight. I am, as Danielle kind of just mentioned, I get the passion sweats really easily. That's what I call them. So I get really fired up when I talk, and I just get I talk with my hands, and I'm just all over the place. So I might be going left and right the entire time, and you guys might be like, where the heck is she going with this? But I promise I have a point to everything I'm saying. I talked on this call, how long ago was that when I was your guest speaker? I thought that was forever ago already. So I don't know if there's probably a lot of new coaches. There's 11 I'm looking on here and I don't recognize. But that shows that February. Wow. That was a long time ago. Wow. So yeah, well, thanks, Joe, for reminding me. So I am so excited tonight. So I was going to say, I guess I can go over my story a little bit because Amy, I see Joe. I'm sorry, Amy. I was like, you can't be a Joe. I don't know. Maybe you're Joanna. I don't know. But yeah, so I get super fired up. I get super excited to talk about this business because I am so insanely passionate about it. I so believe in what this company stands for. I believe in where this business is going. I believe in leadership. I believe in helping change our challengers' lives. I believe in all of it. And I have never seen a company that is running the way that Carl Deichler is running this company. And you guys, honestly, if you're not fired up to be a part of this, then this is just not for you. If you guys are not understanding like what you're part of, like this is something that like I get goosebumps, like thinking about what we're a part of. And to think that like where I started was a girl that came in here just because she needed to lose 10 pounds to where I'm at today. It's insane. And I'm going to get to that in a second, and to the whole point of this business. But because a lot of you might not know who I am, I'm going to just kind of briefly go over my story because my story is long and it is crazy and I've been all over the place. So I'm going to try to condense this really quickly. But I was a TV reporter. I was on television, and to a lot of people that seems like a luxurious job, but it's really overwhelming. There's a lot of things that go along in the TV business that a lot of people don't understand. People were always envious of me because I always knew what I wanted to do. I was the girl that like went to school knowing exactly what she wanted to do. I had my head down, and I was going to get to work, and I was going to get out of that school as soon as I could so I could get into my job. Not many people can say that. A lot of people like doing those like 4 or 5 year laps in college. I was not that girl. I was like, I need out of here. I need to get in my career. And I graduated knowing that I was going to be a sports reporter. Okay. I wanted to be a sports reporter. I didn't want to do news. And I remember getting offered a news job and calling my mentor from college. And I said, I just got this offer of this news job. Like, what do you think I should do? Like, I feel like I should wait out for a sports job. That's all I ever wanted to do. And he goes, take what you can get. And I look at that advice now, and that is like, and excuse me, I curse a lot, so I apologize in advance. That is the shittiest advice that anybody could ever give someone is to take what you can get. And back then I was young. I was 20. I just got out of school at 21. Not even 21. I was still 20 when I graduated. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I just need to take what I can get. I need to get a job, right? That's what I wanted to do. So I took this reporter job instead of sports, making $21,000 a year. To break that down for you guys, that's a little over $500 every 2 weeks. And that was after my benefits and stuff like that. I lived in this 1-bedroom shithole, to say the least, in a really bad part of town. I basically had to beg my landlord to put a deadlock on the door. My roof leaks. My water heater was constantly broken. I remember countless times having to go to the gym to take a hot shower. I had to pick between gas money and food for the week. If I wanted to go back to Pittsburgh to visit my family, it was like, you're not eating that week. I never wanted to tell my parents how bad it was because I didn't want them to be worried. So I never told anybody. No one ever knew I was going through this. I was sitting in my misery alone in the shithole with no water heater. So it was bad. I'll never forget the day that I came home from work and I had a $600 electric bill. And I remember looking at it, and I just told you guys I made a little over $500 every 2 weeks. And I remember calling the electric company and crying to them on the phone, asking them what I could do because I couldn't afford it. So I turned my heat off in the middle of a West Virginia winter, and I didn't have heat for over a month and a half because I didn't want to make my electric bill go up any higher. And I can seriously remember sitting in my apartment with like 4 blankets on, like 2 things of socks, like countless hoodies and sweatpants, and thinking to myself, like, where did I go wrong? Like, I lived better in college than I do right now. And I had no idea what was going on. It was bad. Zach, my husband was my boyfriend at the time. He moved from Kansas to West Virginia in the second year of my reporting contract, and I brought him into my misery. My living situation wasn't as bad because we moved out into a nicer apartment, but everything else was getting significantly worse. I was starting to miss holidays. As you guys know, reporters don't get days off. We don't get holidays. We work through the holidays. So I began to miss those holidays, and there was countless times and countless holidays where he was sitting home by himself. I was starting to have severe anxiety and depression. I was covering accidents and fires, and I was forced to do things that I didn't want to do. And all of a sudden, this depression that I had was becoming magnified. And Zach was coming down with me. He was coming down fast with me. He just left his family and his friends in Kansas to move to West Virginia. West Virginia, guys. I don't know if any of you are from there, but there's not much to do in West Virginia. You're literally in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, it was bad. And the way that we dealt with our hard times is we dealt with stress eating and a lot of alcohol. I'm not happy to say it, but I was a borderline alcoholic at 21 years old. Like, I needed it to go to sleep. Every time I was sad, I would drink it. I didn't do it for pleasure. I did it because I was so unhappy with my life. At 21, that is not okay. The weirdest thing during all of that is that I was obsessed with the gym. I worked out 6 to 7 days a week for hours at a time because I felt like if I was going to drink all the time and I was going to eat like shit, at least I better work out, right? So I went all the time. I was a compulsive gym goer. And obviously, you guys are coaches, right? What happens whenever you're eating like shit and working out? Nothing happens. You still gain weight miraculously and you look like shit. You're flabby. And I was unhappy with the way that I looked. And I was thinking to myself, what's going on here? Before I knew it, guys, I was 10 pounds heavier and he was 20 pounds heavier. Guys, unfortunately, gain weight a lot faster than girls. And I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. But he drank a lot of beer too. And boys get the gut, girls get the ass. I was 10 pounds heavier. He was 20. And we were both miserable. I was so miserable that I wouldn't talk to people. Like, I hated people that were happy on social media. Hated them. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way that your life is that great. There's no way. I was so miserable that I would see people that I knew in like different aisles of the grocery store, and I would like go to the other one, so I would avoid talking to them because I didn't want to have conversations. And a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm very introverted. I feel like I'm extremely passionate and on Facebook and like in these Zoom calls. But like if you see me in person, I'm kind of awkward. And I'm like, I don't really know how to, I don't really do well in big group settings. I like to be like in small group settings and like masterminds, like the diamond retreat that we went to a couple weeks ago. That was totally up my alley. But like the cruise, that was really overwhelming. And I can go to sleep for like 2 days after that because I'm just so overwhelmed by it. But it's all great stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I'm very introverted, and I didn't like talking. I didn't like going out at all at that time period in my life. And I remember the day like it was yesterday that I came across a post by my coach, Natalie Bailey. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is. She's also one of Rachel Khalil's coaches. She was promoting a challenge group, and I remember seeing her talk about T25 and Shakeology. And guys, I can remember the exact way that the post looked. She was running with Rachel, and it was like half Rachel and half her. And she was like, Natalie's in her wedding dress. It was like, lose pounds in however many days. So what I did was what anybody would do. I Googled it. I was like, what is this thing that she's doing? Because there's no way that somebody can be this happy because of a shake and because of a fitness program. So I Googled it. And when I went to Beachbody, I was instantly drawn to the 21-day fix. I was like, ooh, what's this thing? Like, you can get results in 21 days. So I reached out to her, and she was a new coach at the time, and she sent me this message back that was like this long. And it was telling me exactly what the 21-day fix was, what Shakeology was, and how much it was all in one thing. And I was like, whoa, sister, I wanted to know what the 21-day fix was. I was like, okay, bye, basically. And I won't lie to you guys. I was the coach that went online and bought it myself. Because I didn't want to buy Shakeology, because I didn't want to spend $130 on a protein shake. Anybody else there with me? Anybody else use that excuse at the beginning, right? But honestly, those 3 weeks that I committed to that program were the best 3 weeks of my life. I got that in the mail. It was on back order at the time. Beachbody actually back ordered programs back then. The 21-day fix was on back order. It took forever to get to me. But when I got it, I went all in with it. I had control over something for the first time in my life. And I remember starting to share my journey on social media. I started talking to people about it behind the scenes. I was sending them to her. I was excited to share about it. And in 3 weeks, I lost 8 pounds. I posted my transformation on social media and got all these likes and all these comments. And she reached out to me and she goes, Kelsey, you're already coaching. You should do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not coaching. I was coaching. And I will tell you guys the one thing that I didn't have because I went behind her back while I was in that program was a challenge group. How many of you guys started in challenge groups? Started as a challenger. Okay. I didn't have that. I had no idea what this whole business, I didn't know that there was a business opportunity. Only thing I knew was that she was doing it. And I had my own opinions about it, like we all did at the beginning. But she told me, like, you're already doing this. After fighting with her forever, I basically was just like, okay, whatever, I'll give it a shot. Realizing that I couldn't drink Shakeology. I was a mooch, by the way. Like, I was really cheap, as you guys know. So she was giving away free Shakeology samples. I'm like, ooh, I want one. So she sent me one, and that's when I had Shakeology for the first time. And I knew that I couldn't afford Shakeology on my $500 every 2 weeks without at least making my money back every month. So that was my why. That's why I came into the business. But I went for it. My contract ended in West Virginia. I took a reporting job in Tennessee. I moved farther and farther away from my dream as a sports reporter. I took another reporting job. My dream was gone, but Beachbody was starting to take that dream's place. I will be honest with you guys and tell you that I never dibble-dabbled in this business. I was an all-in coach from day one, even though at the beginning it was just pay for Shakeology. I knew I had to pay for my Shakeology, so I went all in. I knew that this business was special. I watched all this amazing stuff that I knew I needed to do in order to hit Success Club every month. I knew that this business could give me the extra money that I needed. I knew that I had the potential of making this a big thing. I knew that I had to trust my upline coach to get me there. I knew that she knew what she was doing, and I was going to follow her lead. And you guys might see on our pages, you might see these great accolades, right? Like 2-star diamond and 2 accounts and all this other crap that comes along with it. And those are just shiny things. When I signed up as a coach, and I want you guys to remember this, and like, be honest. Did you guys sign up to be a coach because you wanted to be a diamond? No. Did you sign up a coach because you wanted to be a star diamond? Did you want to sign up to be a coach because you wanted to make, you wanted to be a Success Club 10 All-Star? So all these people that you're talking to about the business opportunity out there, and then you sign them up and you're like, ooh, you can be an emerald. They don't give 2 shits. They don't care about that stuff. And you have to remember, like, I didn't care about that either. And you guys just admitted it. You didn't care about it. All those accolades came with time because I kept my head down. I just did my job. All that stuff is going to play a big part in where I'm going with this and a little on. But to kind of fast forward another year in the news business, more crap happening daily. I'm having to knock on doors of people that lost their loved ones. I'm showing up at fires, getting embarrassed in our newsroom by my boss, working a 60-hour work week, and that was when I was like, I lost my shit, basically. I worked a 60-hour work week. It was winter. It was crazy. I got called in that Saturday after working that crazy week. And I knew enough was enough. I can remember exactly where I was sitting on my bed when I started screaming. Like, not even like, when I say screaming, I'm like screaming, like crying profusely. And Zach comes in the room and I was like, I'm quitting this job. By the end of this year, I'm quitting this job. I cannot do this anymore. And I got to the end of this year and I put my head down. I did everything I needed to do, right? I'm like, I'm hitting Success Club. I'm doing this thing. But by the time came, I started backing out. I started getting nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I can't quit my job. Like, that's my security blanket. That's what I need. And I'll be honest with you guys. When I quit my job, I was only making about $200 a week average. And the end of that year came and the time came and I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. And I'll never forget this. I went into work and I found out I got engaged in 2015 and my boss calls and she has me on the schedule for this Monday and I get this call from our pastor. And if you guys know how churches work for weddings, you have to meet with them before and go through this whole process and do these classes and stuff like that. And I had to get back to Pittsburgh. I was planning a wedding from afar. I need to get back there and meet her on that Monday. So I called my boss. I'm like, listen, I got to get home. Meanwhile, this is the week of Christmas. I was like, I got to get home. I was like, I'm finally able to meet with a pastor that's going to be marrying us. And I have all these things I need to do for a wedding. Again, we live in Tennessee. I need to plan a Pittsburgh wedding. So when I go home, back then it was like, that was wedding everything. And she told me that I needed to get my priorities straight. And that was when I was like, okay, screw you. 2 weeks later, I put in my 2 weeks notice. A week later, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I left that job on January 8th. And like I said, I was left making $200 a week. And on paper, that looks terrifying. How the hell am I supposed to replace a $32,000 salary, which is my second job, with $200 a week? That was scary. I matched that income the next month. I surpassed it the month after that because I got my head down and I got to work. My back was against the wall. And then guys, I will tell you some incredible things happen when your back is against the wall. I don't care if you're trying to quit your job or if you're just trying to make an extra $100 a month. If you act like you can't go into desperation mode. That's not what I'm telling you. But you need to put your mind to something and you need to go for it. I knew I needed to replace that income. I knew I needed to do it fast. So I put my head down and I got to work. So tonight, my whole topic for you guys is about what changed for me. How I went from the girl that was depressed and feeling sorry for herself and unhappy to the girl that I am today. And my team does not use the word failure. We use stumble. Because failure is, you stumble through this business. The only time that you fail in this business is when you quit. That's the only time. You're going to stumble a lot. There's going to be peaks. There's going to be real low lows. And there's going to be times where you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, why the hell am I doing this? But then there's going to be something that happens. The ones that push through those times are the ones that really make it in this business. The reason that we got to where we are today, that I got to where I am at today, is because I stumbled a lot. So what I want to do tonight is share with you guys my top couple stumbles, but I also want to share my solutions to these stumbles. Because I'm never going to tell you guys how I failed and then not give you guys a reason how I came back from that. So stumble number one was missing Success Club in December of 2014. Excuses took me over, and this is the perfect timing for this one. I blame the holiday season. It's a slow time. No one wants to order from me. Everybody wants to put all their money into other people and not themselves. Meanwhile, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was not doing the work, and I was not asking for help. I was 8 months into the business at the time, and I stopped scheduling weekly calls with my upline because I knew what I was doing. I had one active coach and could barely hit Success Club. I had no freaking clue what I was doing. I don't know why we get into these mindsets in this business that we know it all, that we can't grow or we can't ask for help. I read this in my personal development today, and I needed to pass this on. You can never truly master something until you can teach it. And if you ever think you know it all, you're in serious trouble. Boom, like mic drop, right? You've heard it a million times. No matter where you are, you cannot stop learning in this business ever, ever. So the solution to that stumble in my life, I promised myself I would never miss Success Club again. And every time I think about missing Success Club that December, I literally want to smash my head off of that wall because that was completely my fault. I promised myself that I was going to become a student of this business and I was never going to stop learning. I began diving into books. I still, to this day, 29 months, 30 months into this business, I still schedule calls with my upline coach. I follow successful people and I work my butt off. I had a job that I needed to quit, and that was not going to happen without me doing my damn job and helping other people. I have hit Success Club 10 every month since that day, minimum, and I shoot between 20 to 30 a month. This is my lowest Success Club month I've had in a while, and it's Success Club 10. I knew that like Success Club 5 is great, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I had a mission in my business, and I needed to get there quickly. So Success Club 10 was my non-negotiable, and today is my non-negotiable because that means I get to change 5 lives. I don't know if these people are like, okay, I hit Success Club 10. That's 5 people that I get to help every single month at the minimum. Get a transformation. Symbol number 2 is being something that I wasn't. As new coaches, I think we fall victim to being the perfect coach. And when somebody wants to join our teams, we're like, oh my God, yes, my first coach, my first brand new coach. And then they come on and then they quit. And I'm going to tell you exactly why they quit. You attracted the wrong person. The coaches that you're bringing into your business that month are based on what you were putting on social media the previous month. Did you maybe make life look easy? Did you maybe think that they could come on? Did they think that they could come on and make a quick buck? Did you portray that in some way? Were you showing people that your life was too perfect, that you didn't work your ass off for this? So they thought they were going to come in and this was going to happen for them miraculously easy. It wasn't until I started speaking to my tribe and my people that I started to attract the right coaches. It's that simple. I literally was so selfish, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but I brought on this one coach and she flew to Diamond. I went to 1 star and I was on top of the world. I'm like, ooh, look at me. I'm a 1-star diamond. Like, this is so cool. And that's back whenever I thought that like all the shiny stuff in the business was important. But again, I learned a lot since then. And what happened? She came in, she flew to Diamond, and then she started falling apart. And my business that I was depending on her for started falling apart with her. And it was because I attracted the wrong person to my team. And I guess I will never forget, last December, my coach was pushing for elite, and my account, because of that girl, and I'm going to blame her for it, it's my fault, was projected to go back from 1 star to emerald. Like that quick. And if I would have lost that, Natalie would have lost 5 star in elite. And I remember it was so pathetic that I had to like call the girl and basically beg her to buy something so she wouldn't go inactive. And I remember saying to myself after that, I was like, I'm never going to get myself in the position where I ever have to deal with that again. And I did. I haven't. Now, instead of having 1 emerald on each side, I have 6 on my left and then like 4 on my right plus diamonds, because I don't ever want to get myself in a situation like that again, ever. So solution number 2 to that is I'm true to myself. I share how hard my team works and how hard I work all the time. The biggest mistake that you can make in this business is making this look easy, because you're going to attract a lot of people that are looking for a quick buck. I share people. I actually went live on Facebook one time and literally said, I've been lying to you. I've acted like this all just happened for me naturally. It didn't. I worked my butt off for this. Where I'm at right now, I worked my butt off for. Where my team's going to end this month and this year, we worked our butt off for. I market toward my brand. Symbol number 3 is mindset. I looked at Success Club and Diamond and Star Diamond like they were hard. You hear about coaches who skyrocket their businesses to Diamond. You guys have seen that? People that fly there and you're like, how the hell did they do that? But then you're going to hear about other coaches that take 6 to 12 months to do it, right? It takes a little bit longer for them. So what's the difference? I was personally the coach that it took a little extra time to get there. Solution number 3 to that is I identified why I wanted to be a diamond or a star diamond coach. And every time my coaches come to me on our calls and they're like, I want to be diamond. I'm like, why? Because you want a shirt? Do you even know what that means to be a diamond coach? Do you know how to get there? I had to stop telling myself whenever I was shooting for it that it was hard. And all I needed to do was take the necessary steps every single day to make it happen. I had to stop being scared of the business opportunity. We have to use our pages like an open sneak peek. We have to wait for an in. We have to do coach opportunity calls. We have to be uncomfortable with getting comfortable. How many of you guys on this call are shooting for diamond right now? Do you know why you want to be a diamond? Like, do you know deep in your root on why you want to be a diamond? How many of you are shooting for emerald? Anybody? Star diamond? Like, if you don't know why, if you have no emotional attachment to that rank, you'll never hit it. My coach told me, like, she told me at the beginning, because she was still new coach, she's like, that next up diamond. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And then I was taking too long to hit it, right? She did it fast. And I couldn't hit it. And then finally she goes, you know that like diamond is like, helps you make $4 extra a cycle. That's going to help you quit your job quicker, right? What happened there? I had a reason. I needed that extra $4 a cycle. And I went like crazy to get to that rank. My coaches that are hitting diamond right now are very clear on why they want to be a diamond coach. Very clear. And honestly, and I don't know if anybody has told you this before, the easiest way to get to diamond is by hitting Success Club. Success Club is how you hit diamond. That's it. And introducing the business opportunity. Once you have that team, you can become a leader. Because diamond is like the first step. Like it doesn't end there. And you don't want to be a diamond that can fall out of diamond the next week. You want to be a strong ass diamond. Like I'm talking like 2 emeralds on each side diamond. Or like emeralds that have like 6 people underneath the bloom dot, like strong. Like you want depth. And I'm not saying this to scare you guys. I'm saying this because I want you guys to realize that diamond is step 1. Like that's where you no matter what you want to achieve in this business, especially if you're income driven. Is anybody on here, are you guys all income driven? Are you like recognition driven, like rank driven? For those of you that are really income driven, like diamond is like a non-negotiable. Like you have to get there. And it's not hard to do. And I wish I had my diamond tracker to pull up to show you guys really quick. Because I don't think I do. It's literally like, think about your diamond tree. Success Club 2, Success Club 4, Success Club 6, Success Club 8, Success Club 10. Success Club 2, Success Club 4, Success Club 8, Success Club 10. That fills up your whole thing, 2 months. Then you sign up your spouse. If you don't have your spouse on your downline, for the love of God, sign up your spouse. Sign up your spouse, put 2 people underneath him, right? I can get on a whole tangent about the spouse account. Get a spouse account. Find an account you can work. And then all of a sudden you start diving into these people and you get them really great results, right? So those people that helped you hit Success Club 10 with in that month, that you're putting in this challenge group and they get freaking incredible results. Incredible results where all they want to do is share it with people that, oh my God, that they're down 10 pounds and you help them do that. And you have goosebumps because now you gave somebody the gift that was given to you. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out and be your dream team coach because they're excited, right? Because why did all you guys start? Because you believed in our products. So now it's easy because now they're on your downline and they're excited and they want to give this to other people. So then they hit Emerald quick. And you help them to hit Success Club 2, Success Club 4, Success Club 6, Success Club 8. Now they're strong emeralds. Doesn't that diamond sound a little bit less scary, less hard to get to? Because that's what this business is about. And honestly, we have to remember that we are so distracted by the shiny stuff in this business. And I'm getting off on a little tangent here, and I'm sorry. But this needs to be said. And I told my team the same thing. We get so distracted by the shiny stuff in this business. Elite, Premier, Emerald, Diamond. And all of a sudden, we're sitting here 6 months into the year thinking to ourselves, why is my business not growing? Do you guys, and I want you guys to put in the chat box, do you know what the foundation of this company is, this business is? Like, what do we stand for? We want to be an organization of diamonds. We want to be an organization of Emerald coaches. Helping people get healthy. Helping people get results. That's what this business is about. It's not about hitting diamond, but why do we hit emerald? Why do we hit diamond? Why do we hit star diamond? Because we help people, the mission statement of this company, live healthy and fulfilling lives. I had a huge reality check today when I sat back and I looked at my rock star. My team is freaking badass. I'm like, I'll admit it. I'll shout about them from the rooftops. But guess why? They all, and I went through every name, they all have a transformation. Every single one of them have a transformation. I helped people lose from 20 to 75 pounds. And that is why they're successful. And that's why my team is working. It's why we are where we are right now. It's probably why your team is where you are right now. You guys are doing some badass stuff too. And I see that. But all of you guys on here, and raise your hand. Have you guys have a transformation? Or has Beachbody changed your life in some way? You wouldn't be here if it didn't. That's how rank happens. Rank isn't something that you need to be focused on. Yes, it's so great to have goals, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals. You should. But we need to make sure that our focus is staying on changing lives and helping people get healthy. Because if you can get people, who do you think is going to be the better coach? The person that you just signed up today that has no idea what Beachbody is all about and doesn't have a transformation, or this person over here that you've helped lose 20 pounds? This one's probably going to be way better. Because this one will get there. But not until her transformation, until she understands the point of Beachbody and the value of it all, right? So again, I know I got really distracted there, but that's extremely important stuff. Like, we can't keep getting distracted by the shiny stuff. If your team is, I know that your team is pushing for elite this year. Our team is pushing for elite this year. I'm telling you what, my team and your team will not hit it if we are focusing on the fact that we want to be an elite team. That's bullshit. We need to be, the elite teams happen because we have 5 people on our team that have built organizations that are helping other people. That's why you hit elite. And if my team does not hit elite this year, that means I didn't do my job as a coach to help them help more people. That's what this whole thing is about. And then you guys will do the same thing next year when you're pushing for things like that. It's just extremely important that we're keeping our focus on helping people, because all that shiny stuff's going to happen. Okay, symbol number 4. I know I got really sidetracked. This is my last one. Distractions. I wanted this business for, again, all the shiny things, like what I was just talking about. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, wow, I just freaking talked about this. Okay, I became in love with the idea of the rank, the retreats, the events, and I became blind. And I became blind to what this entire thing was all about, to the point where I was losing my focus. And I'm going to be very vulnerable here and tell you guys something that drives me absolutely crazy that I used to do. I would bring on coaches. The reason that I've been in this business since 2014, April 2014, and my business has not taken off until 2016, is because I was bringing people into this business for a year and a half for my own ulterior motive. I believe that every person that I could bring in, I had in my head that, I'm looking at your guys' screens right now. Shannon can get me to emerald. Jackie can get me to diamond. Joe can get me to 1 star. Emily can get me to 2 star. And then I can go to leadership or the new leader conference. And then I can get that cool backpack they're giving away. Oh, then maybe I could get recognized as a premier coach. So if I can even get all these people into my organization, then that kind of stuff can happen for me. Guys, it takes a lot of personal development for you to admit this, for me to admit this. You can't do that. You can never do that, okay? You cannot make somebody come into this for your benefit, ever. Your coaches, they'll see right through you, and they're going to do the same thing to your coaches. Can you guys imagine that, like, you know that your coaches watch you like a hawk? Everything you do, they do. And it trickles down so fast. I would never want my organization to be built off something like that. And it was starting to be built off of something like that. And I didn't even kind of realize I was doing it for a while. I was just like, oh, well, if I can do this, like, okay, I can put this person here and this person here, and then I'll make more money. That's not what you need to be doing in this business. So my solution is, I'll be honest, my entire team is 2016 coaches. I came into 2016 as a diamond coach. a very weak diamond coach. I had to learn how to lead and put their desires first. And this goes the same way for our challengers as it does for our coaches. We need to be putting their desires first. For my coaches, I personally offer a one-on-one mentoring program, and they take advantage of it. It begins the moment that they sign up. I use things like Voxer to send them messages. It's like a walkie-talkie type thing. They get all the tools that they need from me. I make sure that they're working toward their why and what they want every single week. I've had coaches straight up get on calls with me and tell me that diamond is not something that they want. And I have to be okay with that. I've had coaches come on the call and tell me, like, I don't really give a shit if I had Success Club. And I'm like, okay. But I've had other coaches come on that said, I want to be 2-star in 6 months. So I'm like, okay. Right? We need to be making sure that we're working with them based on their goals. And that's the same way for our challengers. We need to know what their goals are. And we need to be honest. You have to ask yourself out loud, do I know their goals? Do I know what my coaches and my challengers want and need from me? Do I know what their weaknesses are so I can recommend them personal development? Do I know what their strengths are so I can have them come onto my team call and to teach my other coaches about it? Do I know what they're reading right now that is actually benefiting them? I ask my coaches their takeaways in their personal development every single week on our one-on-one calls. What did you take away from this week? And they'll be like, oh, well, I didn't read. And I'm like, every single week. So now that they know I'm going to ask it, they read every single week. We do call to actions. I set their goals for them. I'm trying to bring up basically my demonstration on how I do this. I think I shared this with Danielle at the retreat. I'm going to bring it up again for you guys to see. This is how detailed I am with my coaches, okay? And I've gotten this girl's permission to share this, so that's why I am. This is not fun. All right. Woo. So you guys can see her picture there. I wanted to look at the girl that I am helping change her life every single time I get on the call with her. I know why she started. I know what's unique about her. I know what she's motivated by. I know why she related to me instead of any other coach out there. I know what her vision is for her future. I know what her why is. I know what her top 10 goals are. I know how I can hold her accountable. I know what her strengths are. I know what her weaknesses are. And then every single week we check in. I take notes during our call. As you guys can see here, I write that we set goals for the following week. The next week we get back on them. I highlight them if she's accomplished them. New goals. October goals. So this is her goals for the month. She's basically accomplished every single freaking one of these, which is incredible. Sets goals for the first week. Take notes on our next call. So she's income driven. So I know how much she made in that week, right? She accomplished all these goals. More notes. I know where she's at again to date because she's trying to make $400 this month. So I'm working with her on that. Again, so you guys can see here. We have a call on Wednesday for me to go through these ones. So you guys see how detailed I am? Like how I want to know everything? And whenever they miss a goal, I go, why? Why? I'm not being a hard ass, but I want to know why. If you told me you were going to hit Success Club 6 this week and you're only at Success Club 2, what went wrong? Were you not talking to enough people? Because they want me to hold them accountable. They need me as their leader to hold them accountable. And it's the same thing that goes for our challengers too. Like if they tell you they want to lose 5 pounds and they didn't log any Shakeology that week or any of their workouts that week on the app, we need to be okay with holding them accountable. We need to know everything about our customers. We need to know everything about our coaches, and we need to know exactly how to help them. And I was not doing that before. And the reason that my team has gone from Diamond Team to 2-star in 2 accounts, the spouse account and my account, and almost pushing their way to 5 in my first CBC right now, is because I do this. I don't look at Stephanie has 3 people on this leg and 2 people on this leg. So now that's going to be my 3-star. And then this person's going to be my 5. No. I didn't, it's just honestly, it was yesterday where I figured out who was going to be the coaches that got us to elite. So what did I do with them now is they're in a separate group where I mentor them separately because they want to be there. And I give them the option. I didn't say, hey, get in this group because you're going to help us get to elite. I said, do you want to be in this push group? So it's never about me anymore. It's about them. And if any of them ever came to me in this next couple of weeks and said, look, I'm not feeling it, I would be okay with that. Because I really want this to be a goal that we achieve because everybody wants to be a part of it. And I don't want, you know what I mean? Like every single person on our team has played a part in it. But honestly, like it was actually like really, I was yesterday sitting there making this push group like red in the face. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to hate me. They're going to think that I'm pushing to do something I don't want to do. And that's not the case. Like they're excited. If you can be a leader like that, they like want to step up, you know? So I guess my top takeaway, my biggest thing I hope you guys took away from this is that we all are going to stumble through this business and we are all going to have these downs. But the only coaches that are going to make it through the ones are the ones that keep pushing when those downs are happening. And Success Club needs to be a non-negotiable because that's going to be how you're going to accomplish everything else in your business. And Success Club has to be organic, meaning that it has to be because you genuinely want to help somebody, not because you need 10 Success Club points this month. Like and I want you guys to be very honest. This is going to take a huge moment of vulnerability. Have you guys kept up with every single challenger you brought on this month? Okay. So I think that goes without saying. I think you guys know what you need to do, right? Because we have to get our minds off of being so focused off of this business. Like we need to help people grow a business because guess what? Your coaches that are excelling in this business, they got it because they got a transformation and they got this whole thing. But like the coaches, people like, think about it. You brought somebody on, that is your freaking responsibility to help them get results. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm not pointing fingers. It was a huge slap in the face for me too, where I had to sit back and be like, oh my God, I haven't talked to this challenger in like a week. That's changing because that's not what this business is about. It's not about building a 5-star organization. This business is about helping people live healthy and fulfilling lives. And the reason you have a 5-star organization is because those people are living healthy and freaking fulfilling lives. And their people are living healthy and fulfilling lives. And their people are living healthy and fulfilling lives. And that's where the income comes from. That's where rank comes from because you're doing your job as a coach. Our mission is to help people. Remember, guys, every time that you're feeling like overwhelmed, I want you guys to go back to the day you signed up as a coach. The day you signed up and how you were feeling and how excited and nervous you were because you just wanted to help people. You were so nervous about getting that first sale because you just wanted to help somebody. Where did that go? Find that again. If you can do that, if you can be selfless every single month and you can do that and genuinely put other people before yourself and your desires, yours are just going to happen. That's all I got.
Guys, I always feel like mic drop after that. That's how I always feel when Kelsey starts talking. What questions do you guys have for her? Now's the time to ask, not be bashful.
You mute yourself.
They're in the same house, Kelsey.
So when you track your challengers, do you do something similar to that document that you showed with the coaches? Or do you have like a strategy when you're kind of approaching keeping up with them that's different?
So this is changing currently for me. I use a lot of different things, like Google Streak and stuff like that, where I have my process where I like go through them with them. And I was doing this thing where I was like, oh, look at me. Like I'm staying in touch with my challengers. Like I had this like every week I do a weekly newsletter. I send them like recipes. I send them everything they need. But what I'm still not doing enough of is being really personal with them. They need us more than just an email or a text. Like they need us. So I have, and this is brand new, like I'm just starting to do this. They're now, once they sign up with a challenge pack, I give them a survey. It's very short, but basically says, hey, I'm your coach. Like I'm excited to help you go on with this journey, but tell me a little bit more about what you're needing from me. So I ask them what their best way of communication is, like what they're wanting from me, how it's going to feel when they achieve the results that they're looking for. So I asked them what results they're looking for, how they're going to feel, why they reached out to me in the first place. So even though I might know some of this stuff, like from our conversation, like I want it in document form now, because Carl Deichler, my coach just came back from leadership in LA, and Carl Deichler is challenging us. You guys will probably hear about this soon, about getting a binder. And you are going to start putting your success stories in your binder. And that's what I'm starting to do. And success story number 1 is you. So we are all going to be committing to a program from start to finish. My team and I, we're doing quarter force, and we're taking advantage of it, and we are doing 110%, like no cheats, no alcohol, none of that crap. Like we're doing 110%, and success story number 1 is going to be us. Because until you can help yourself, you can't genuinely help somebody else, right? So after that, I'm going to be printing off those surveys. And like I said, this is brand new, so you guys are like the first person to hear what we're doing. But I'm going to be printing off those surveys, and they're going to each have a tab in my binder per challenger. It's going to be more about quality instead of quantity now. So I'm not going for like Success Club 30. I'm going for like Success Club 10 because I really want to work 5 people every month. 5 to 10. I'll give it up to 10 based on, because I do have a lot of people that reach out to me. That's going to be very personal relationships. I don't know if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, but I'm starting a 17 by 17 program as of today. Helping 17 people get transformations before 2017. I want them to help them reach their first milestone, and they're all going to be a page in my binder. And it starts with that. And then yes, for what your question was, I know I kind of got off track. What your question was is I'm going to start something like that. Like every single one, I'll have their picture, I'll have their before picture, and I want their after picture when they're done. I'm going to help them every step of the way. And then those are the people that will end up probably being my coaches. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Did you see the comment, Kelsey, from New York? He said, not so much a question, just appreciate talking about the anxiety and depression because I went through the same stuff, and this business has helped a lot to find my balance. And guys, Kelsey shares that very openly. So like, not that you have to share some deep, dark thing, but I think you do get to a place in this business where the things that you share that are scary connect you with people more. And the reason that Kelsey's been successful is because she's been unapologetic about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, because it is really hard for me to talk about. I mean, as much as like it comes off my tongue so easily, like it did not come off my tongue that easily at the beginning. Like I suffered from very serious depression. As you guys heard, very serious depression, a lot of alcohol problems, and that's not okay. But that's the way I dealt with it. And I remember the day that it stemmed from my best friend passing away, and it just got significantly worse. And it's hard to talk about, but like Danielle said, me talking about it has helped me find my people, because every single person I do a Get Started Right call with has told me that they have suffered from depression at one point in their life. And that's not cool, but it is cool that like my story was able to bring them to me, because then I can help them through that. So whenever they go through an episode where they're feeling that anxiety and they're feeling that they can't handle it, I can relate to that, and they're on the right team because I can help them, you know? So like I said, you don't have to throw, like Danielle said, you don't have to throw that all out there at once. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of practice, and that's uncomfortable stuff to talk about. But once you guys do, like I call them your gremlins. So find your gremlins and like write them down on a piece of paper and identify them, what's holding you back and what might be you struggling with. And then just find ways, even if you have to like post, like email it to yourself. You don't have to post it yet. Just email it to yourself so you can like get it out. And you're like, oh, I did it. Like I talked about it, you know, like that's a huge step in the right direction. I did that for a while. I actually have a whole blog that I have not even touched yet, where it's called Drafts. And the blog is called Drafts, where it's all the things that I wrote that I never published. And I slowly take one out at a time and I post it.
Cool. What else do you guys have for Kelsey?
Yeah, you guys can ask me anything. I'm very open about anything. Did I come off as scary? Be honest. Okay, some people tell me that I look like really scary. And I'm like, that's really rude. But I just get, like I said, I get really excited to talk about the business.
Man, where's Lauren when we need her? She's always the one to speak up. I think she's on, but she's on her phone. What else, guys? Kelsey, can you talk about how, like, when you were in a time in your business when one of your coaches kind of gave up, how you pushed past that?
When my coaches gave up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know. That's why I asked.
This also takes a lot of personal development because you are going to have, and how many of you guys have had coaches that quit already? Okay. And I mean, if you haven't yet, you will. I'll be honest. They will all quit. The people that got me to Diamond are not on my team anymore. People that got me to Star Diamond for the first time are not on my team anymore. Like I told you guys, my entire team is 2016 coaches. Before, I used to be a big whiny baby about it. And I used to be like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Again, you're attracting the wrong people, to say it simply. So you like to speak true to your tribe. But I had one of these last weekend, and I'll explain exactly how I handled it. She went to Summit. She was on fire. I don't know how you go to Summit and then quit. I don't know. But she did. And she was like, I just don't think this coaching thing is for me anymore. The old me would be like, no, you can do this. Like, don't give up. The new me, I'm very religious. I put my phone down for a second. I said a prayer. And I said, let me handle this the way that you want me to handle this. And I told her, and she went through all these excuses about how like she just didn't feel like she was good at it. And I'm like, honestly, can you say that you've tried? Can you say that you scheduled calls with me, that you've shown up for trainings, that you've shown up in the page, that you've taken my advice and things like that? She basically had to ignore me because she didn't do any of those things. I had to ask her, I'm like, she was saying that she basically told me that the reason I was successful was because I did this full time, which again was a slap in the face to me because I worked my ass off for this. So the way that I handle it is, and this is going to be probably not the thing you're looking for, but bless and release. Let them go. Because even if they are kind of on the fence about it, they're going to quit anyway. They're already checked out. They're done. And you don't want to keep wasting time with tire kickers because your time is valuable. And again, this took a lot for me. This came after a year and a half of dealing with it. And almost at the beginning of this year too, when I lost people. I still lose people. And I think that the biggest thing is, honestly, is you just have to let them go. I lost somebody yesterday because she said she had too much going on in her life. And this is what I said. I don't want to lose you as a challenger. You came to me because you wanted to lose 20 pounds, and I'm going to help you do that. So even if the business is not for you, please let me keep coaching you. Please stay in my challenge groups. Let's help you go back to your original goal. And if this is something you want to try later on, that's okay. And you guys, the biggest regret you'll ever have in this business is wasting time on somebody that doesn't want to be here. And you'll know those people. I was actually at the retreat. I actually finally deleted my first coach out of my team page because I was so attached to her. I wanted so badly for her to succeed. And that's the problem with us is we believe in it and we're so excited about it that we just can't process that somebody else doesn't want to be a part of it. But we do have to remember that this business is not for everyone, but it is for anyone. So just go out and find your tribe.
Do you see the question?
Yeah, Lauren asked, being an introvert, do you find it difficult to talk to people? What do you say? Do you think about? No. See, I'm an extroverted introvert. I can kick ass in conversations, but that took a lot of time, a lot of practice. And I would say in person, yes, I am really awkward at the beginning. I don't know why, because you guys are probably looking at me right now, you're like, I can't see that. I'm just a little awkward in person, but whenever you get to know me, I'm the same person. But I'm assuming that you're having trouble, I guess, connecting with people and getting yourself to have the conversations. I would say that the biggest thing is for me and for anybody that's dealing with this, especially with conversations, is just remember it's part of your job and you should be excited to share about it. This changed your life, obviously, for a reason. So just share that. And don't get yourself into thinking too much into your conversations. For me, when I start conversations, I'm just like, hey girl, happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. What are you up to? And things like that. Or, hey girl, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I'm always looking to connect with new people. I see you're from Charleston. What brought you there? They're very simple. I don't ever really go into much detail when I start conversations with people. When I'm having the conversation with people, I'm just really kind of free flowing. It took a lot of practice. and you're going to have conversations that are like dud conversations. But the biggest thing is that you started them. You're on their radar now. But like I said, the introvert in me is kind of weird in person, but definitely not behind the computer screen or like via Zoom. Like I can be, I don't know. I think it's just really big groups that like freak me out a little bit. And it's weird. Like when they let them freak me out, I just get really tired. I'm just like, I need to go lay down and be by myself. But I don't know. I don't know if that was the right answer to your question, but honestly, I have to, it's a lot of, and the thing is, like you said, like say, do, think to get yourself to push through and have conversations, personal development. You have to constantly be growing. And if that's something that you're struggling with, read the book, Go for No. Because that was a great book for me right at the beginning when I was trying to learn how to have conversations with people and how to accept the fact that some people were going to tell me no, and how that was a good thing. So that was a good book. I think that's a good one for you to dial into. I'm sorry, like I'm like the worst introvert ever. I can't really explain that better, but I don't know.
Awesome. Anything else, guys? Last call? Well, this was super helpful, and I just wanted to kick it off with some fire because Kelsey always brings it to the stage, and like I said, she's motivated me for a long time, probably without knowing it, and I'm just so thankful. Like, guys, these are the friendships you get to make when you work your ass off, honestly, because we both went to leadership retreat. We both went on the cruise because we worked for the past year, and we helped a lot of people see results. So get yourself there so that you can call up. Like I just called her up last week. I was like, can you get on this call? And it just amazes me all the time. I'm like, actually, I'm friends with this girl and I've only met her a couple times. But that's the blessings that Beachbody can bring into your life when you just keep focusing on people. And don't ever forget that. And I love that she brought that to light. Sorry, I was making sure Lauren didn't comment anything else. But thank you so much, Kelsey. I know I really appreciate you, and sending you lots of love towards this last couple weeks of fire. And
Guys, good luck. You guys got this.
You'll knock it out of the park.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a great week.